Let me take you back to 2018 in March. I was diagnosed with triple negative breast cancer. My diagnosis began with unfortunately. That to me was red flags. I'd lived what I thought was a healthy life. I exercised and I was out in nature plenty of the time. But on this one occasion, when I found that lump, I knew it wasn't just a cyst, I knew it was cancer. My whole journey all the way home was why me? But I wasn't going to let it beat me. Absolutely no way. Over my dead body, excuse the pun, I was not going to let that cancer beat me. It was at that point when the doctor said to me, we have a tablet for every side effect that you're going to endure during chemotherapy. And the light switch moment came on. And from that moment on, food was then my medicine. I went ahead and I had 5 months of chemotherapy called FEC paclitaxel, known to cancer patients as the Red Devil. It was bright red, pillar box red on the way in and pillar box red on the way out. 5 months and 28 days of radiotherapy. I had a lumpectomy, and then after all that, if that wasn't brutal enough, they put me on a zoledronic acid injection through IV. I was absolutely scared to death and fear. That word cancer, we are programmed within society to be scared of it. You can either embrace it and see it as a wake-up call, or you can manifest it and see it as a death sentence. My only option then was to really look at how I was healing my body from within, how I addressed food, my connection with food, my connection back with nature, checking all the ingredients going in, because I thought I was living a healthy lifestyle, but cancer had other thoughts. It was in my body and I needed to get rid of it. There's a big stigma with cancer, and some people are happy to go down the conventional route. Some people like myself want to start questioning the conventional route and look at what God gave us within nature to eat and to drink that's been there for generations. It's not something new. I'm not creating anything new. I'm not a magician. I just knew that I needed to look after my body, and the only way to do it was, for me, honestly, was not what I was expected to be diagnosed with on my 50th birthday. Also not being able to tell my family. My mother's not here. My dad had just been diagnosed with vascular dementia. I knew I couldn't tell my father because I didn't want to upset him anymore. But I knew I had to fight. And I told him that I'd shave my head for charity. He called me Peter every time I went to see him. Crazy, really. But anyway, I was on the start of my cancer journey, and the only person that could do it was me. So, after starting the treatment, you realise how brutal it is, how fatigued you are, how everything doesn't taste right, everything smells so different. The conventional treatment was absolutely killing everything within my body other than the tumour. So, like I say, I resorted back to looking at the root source of the problem, because tablets just numb the pain. Tablets just mask everything that's there. You've got to go to the root source of the problem. Over these last 7 years, I've connected with many people, positive people working within the community, running projects, small businesses, local businesses, healing themselves, healing other people. But I didn't see a connection. I couldn't see a connection. Lots of people were doing positive things, but I just wasn't feeling that connection. All I wanted to do now was help other people, because that was a way of healing myself. So on these long days, when you're bored and you're tired and you've nothing else to do, you don't want to go outside with your treatment, I started to research really hard on what was in the food, what was in the food chain. I questioned everything, what I was eating, what made me so sick. And then I just decided that was enough. One day the consultant said to me that there was a tablet for every side effect, and I had side effects. Like, I was sick, I was vomiting, I couldn't smell, I couldn't taste. It was absolutely awful. There must be alternatives. Cancer was 1 in 30 people. It's now 1 in 2. Everybody knows somebody that's had cancer. What's going on with the food chain? Something must be happening. And this is when I decided it was time. Time to create a community of people that wanted to heal, that were like-minded. And that's what I've done. It's not just what I've done, it's what we've done. We as a family, we as a community, because without all my friends and family and loved ones and healers, I wouldn't be sat here now. So I've got them to thank. But they're now part of my tribe. Root Source is a community, it's a tribe, it's not a solo event, it's not a solo purpose, nor is it trending. So, 7 years later, from diagnosis to now, the founder of Root Source, a brand, a community where we can bring people together, learn and educate each other, demonstrations, food, plant to plate, land to sea. Go back to the root source of your problem. Don't mask it with medication. This event is going to be running in March. 2 immersive events that we want you to be invited along to with select vendors to educate you. So you go away feeling nourished and grounded. Everything that we need in today's society. So don't give up. Because there was days when I really wanted to give up. They were dark places. I believe life is a journey. There is no destination. But for now, Root Source is my next destination. And we're going to bring everybody and community together.